Everybody, welcome back to 18 Outdoors. Hey, again, we really appreciate all the support, the likes, and the subscriptions. You know, again, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please like, subscribe, share. But again, we really appreciate it. On today's video, we got a real, amazing treat. You know, this guy is like a forefather or a hunting icon of the South. You know, especially in our area. You know, he has hunted in several states, but this guy started hunting in 1960 something. He was 22 years old when he started, 21, 22. He's fixing to be 83, and he's killed some whoppers on public land and some on other, you know, like private land, but most of it is public land, and, you know, I'm telling you, some big ones. One super big, well, a couple real big with a muzzleloader. He really loved hunting with a muzzleloader. He bow hunted back when very few people bow hunted in the 60s, so, but anyway, he liked putting together kit muzzleloaders, but he's a very, you know, historical guy. You know, Kathy had met him several years back, but I hadn't until the other day. I got blessed to go meet this guy, and, you know, the reasons we do these videos is trying to, you know, promote public land hunting and promote hunting in general, but also, you know, spotlighting and paying tribute to the people that paved the way for our hunting, you know, because, you know, if it wasn't what they done back in and them passing on to the younger generation, I don't know what we'd have now. But anyway, we really appreciate, you know, him doing that. And his name is Buddy Tollison. Just an amazing guy. Just a lot of knowledge and stuff. It's tough because, you know, some of these guys, you know, you don't know how long you're going to live, but, you know, if you're losing that information or losing the knowledge or the experiences that they've had as they grew up, you know, hunting in Alabama and in the South, you know, I think he hunted Tennessee and maybe Georgia too, but anyway, I know he hunted a couple states, but in just a variety of styles, you know, muzzleloader, gun, and bow, so it's just, and that's, you know, kind of the way we grew up. But anyway, we don't do this for any like personal recognition. It's to spotlight these guys, spotlight them, just, you know, and the deer that they've killed, the accomplishments they've done, and how, it was tougher back in them days because you really had to hunt. They didn't have limited technology like we got now. But anyway, it's just a very amazing guy. We really hope y'all like this video, and now we're gonna get to it. All right, everybody, we are blessed by the grace of God to get to come into this cabin when one of the premier older hunters in the South, Mr. Buddy Tollison, and that's him sitting right there. Just, how long you been hunting?
Ever since I was about 23
years old. Back when there wasn't that many deer.
Wasn't that many, wasn't no bow hunters much when we started.
Wow. But he has got an amazing cabin with some big bucks. This one up here in the middle is a guy named Wayne McKay, another older hunter that's one of the, you know, cornerstones of our hunting community in the state of Alabama, because these guys, they're what passed on the knowledge to people like Tony and other folks that just, that's been seeking it out. It's just, this is history of the involvement of hunting in the state of Alabama. And you can tell he really loves the outdoors. You know, turkey hunting, squirrels.
I didn't kill the bobcat, man gave it to me.
What's my price?
I didn't kill the squirrels, man gave them to me. My taxidermy gave them to me.
Wow.
He tore down this place that he had set up over Calhoun College, and he asked me would I like to have them this place.
Wow.
And I didn't kill the fox. He did Wayne McKay's nephew killed that fox, run over it.
Wow. Now this big old muzzleloader buck, I remember Kathy getting her picture took with this. It's just a huge buck. So
it is pretty good buck.
Yeah, Mr. Tollison, if you don't care, we got Tony sitting there. Can you tell us the story of that big old muzzleloader buck, the biggest one you killed? It's behind Tony's head, just because you had a unique story that you talked about how many bucks were with it together. So
I caught him on the camera, and he was with another little small buck working a scrape. And I showed it, the footage, to my hunting buddy, old Wayne McKay. He said, man, you need to stay with that deer and see if you can kill him. I don't know how many days went by while I was hunting him and never caught another glimpse of him until the morning that he came up out of a wood holler and up in the pines. And I'm sure he was going to bed down. And there were like 3 bucks that I saw besides him. And best I remember, there was about 5 does. 2 of the does got wind on me and ran straight ahead, didn't turn around and go back. They ran straight ahead where they were going. And this old big buck, he come up where I could see him and stood and looked and looked and looked at those does, wondering what was going on. He finally decided he'd come walking on, and I believe it was maybe best I remember, it was about a 6 or a 7 point with him. And the big buck, he just walked right around and came within about 40 yards from me, and I had the muzzleloader, and I said, holy smoke. And I was trying to pick me a shot, and he had gotten out to my side quite a bit, and me standing in the tree stand trying to follow him. And when I shot him, he ran right by the tree I was in, carrying the leg, and I said, yeah, I got you. And he went back down the way they all came from, and when I looked back down there, I said, holy smokes, there's another buck and some more does down there. And of course, when he got to them, they saw what was going on, they snorted and they all run for cover then. And he stood up straight, looking around, and I had to shoot him again. Had to load that muzzleloader and shoot him again.
Wow. Oh, man. And you never had this deer scored, right? But I'm telling you, this is the muzzleloader. That deer is something else now. So,
never scored none of them.
Wow, never scored a one of them. Mm-hmm. And there's some big deer in here now, I'm telling you. Tony, what do you think that deer might score?
Man, he's a mean frame 8, but that joker's he's got it all. He got spread, the mass all the way. I think the deer's pushing 170 inches, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it could be a little more.
And very possibly more.
That's a big daggum buck. So
he is a beautiful deer. Probably me standing here looking at him, a picture ain't gonna do him justice, but he is a.
You know, I never had much luck at calling any of these bucks. But that one right there, that old high rack deer, I killed him down on the Sitzy River one evening, late one evening. And I was calling a doe call. And I had another little old doe call with me, and I just kind of mix them up once in a while. And I looked down, and he was coming up through a cane brake. And I saw the cane shake, and I said, uh-oh. Finally, he stepped out, and I said, holy smoke, what a buck. I stood there with that muzzleloader. Oh, I shot him with 50 caliber. And I stood there with that muzzleloader till I thought, well, man, I ain't gonna be able to hold it up no more. And I looked around, and there was a big oak tree. And there was just a small opening between that oak tree and where he was at. So I pulled that gun around to that opening. I said, I know you're coming through. I know the way you're walking. You're gonna go through that opening. I said, I'm gonna back the hammer, and when you come through that opening, I'm not gonna have much time. I see he'd go past him, pull the trigger. And he did that same thing. He went back. When I saw the rat go behind the tree, I pulled the trigger. And that old gun shot so hard, the ramrod jumped out and fell out of the tree. And he turned and he ran back toward 60, and I said, I know I hit you. And the squirrels got to barking on down 60, and I said, oh man, surely he didn't go back down that way. It got quiet. I said, well, I'm going to sit here and wait till just before dark before I get down. Just before dark, I let the old rifle down. I slid down that tree, and I walked down to where I shot him. Of course, it's getting dark. And I said, man, I can't see no blood. But I know he went back down toward 60, down the creek or across it one, but I said, I know he didn't cross because I didn't hear it splash. I said, well, ain't one thing doing. I said, leave it alone till morning. So I went in, come and told them, I said, man, I killed a monster, a buck down there. And they said, you don't go get him? I said, no, I ain't gonna go in at night. I said, I run him off and won't find him. So the next morning, all of them went hunting but me. I didn't go hunting, I just stay in. Well, they cut their morning hunt short and come back about 9:30 or 10. They said, let's go hunt your buck. So we all loaded up in the truck and drove down as close as we could get, and still had to walk 3/8 of a mile or so down where I was hunting. And old Dennis Way, they had a camper up there and they were hunting him and his old nephew. And he said, which way that deer go, buddy? And I said, I thought he went straight down the tree there right in front of where my stand was facing, but I said, I'm not absolutely certain because squirrels was barking to my right down the creek there, and I said, if he got down that ridge, he could have run down the edge of 6 and I wouldn't saw it. So Wayne McKay and Joey McKay and me and Dennis Way. And Dennis said, you think he went straight ahead? I said, that's the only option I saw, but he didn't ever hit that creek. I would have heard him. So he was walking down toward the creek and he said, holy smokes, he's laying here on the side of the creek in a hole. And he was. There was a big wash there and he went off that bank, but when he went off the bank and hit that hole, he was gone right there, and that's where he was laying.
Wow. Oh, wait. And that's a big old buck, too.
And it took 3 of us to drag that big joker, and he was a big deal.
Well, you can see by the body.
You look at the shoulder.
It took 3 of us to drag that sucker back because it was uphill all the way.
Wow.
I was hunting down off of the ridge there next to the creek. Took 3 of us to drag that joker all the way back up there. And they put it on the back. They got a 4-wheeler and put it on the back. Old Bobby McKay was on the 4-wheeler. And put that big joker on it. And every once in a while, one of us would have to go hold the front end down a little bit so it could go uphill with it.
Oh, man. And that deer, I mean, that would have been a muzzleloader record buck, too. Right?
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
I think he got 3 there, big record book muzzleloader, no doubt.
Fort Mounted deer farm over there. Lives over on Swan Creek going to Athens. He had it out there one day and I went by to see if he'd finished it, and he had it over there on the stand. He said, there's a guy come in here yesterday and said, man, said, where'd that deer got killed? He said, Oh, there's an old man shot in his backyard over motor.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So you really, I mean, it's very unique that you're sitting there telling these stories and it's pretty much involved with a muzzleloader. So you really like muzzleloaders?
I've shot muzzleloaders ever since I was maybe 17 or 18 years old. I fell in love with them old muzzleloader pistols. And I've got two now that I can interchange with a cylinder and I can shoot them
Really?
with regular ammunition or a muzzleloader, either one.
Wow. So, and these were, you use a scope back then, or is that just
Yeah, that would scope all
Scope,
these.
yeah.
All these.
scopes?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was after the law was,
The first thing I ever shot was a muzzleloader. It was one of them old Walmart specials, you know, like a 3x9.
yeah.
What was something one? What was that thing called? Something one.
I don't remember that.
They wasn't the best. They didn't have no power much, and they, you know.
Wow.
But oh yeah, I love them muzzleloaders. My favorite is a 45. It was a 44 Clint Eastwood type. I changed it over and with a cylinder kit to a 45 long coat.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I love to shoot that thing too.
That's something else.
In fact, I run by the old guy out here at the ammunition place one day not long ago, and I went in there and I said, "Hey, have you got any 45 long coat?" He said, "Well, you want one 45 long coat?" And I said, "'Cause I got a 45 long coat pistol." And I said, "Now, I bought a box of 45s out here one time, but it's been quite a while ago." He said, "Come on in here," and he had a basket full he had just reloaded. And he said, "How many of these you want?" And I said, I'd like to have a couple of boxes. So he sold me a couple of boxes.
Wow. What is this old muzzleloader up here hanging above your door?
That's one of them. That was a kit gun I put together.
Wow.
That was an old 30. Seemed like it's a 32.
32 caliber muzzleloader.
Seemed like it's a 32. There's a kit gun. I got another kit gun that was I put together. It's got a brass stock and all. That's a 45.
Wow.
But the gun that I killed the deer with, I fell in love with. I showed it to Tony Vidal. Carried it out to hunt. Ordered that gun special.
Really?
It's a 45 muzzleloader. And you don't see none of them. You're gonna have to order you one if you want it.
I remember back when my dad and them first muzzleloader hunted, before they changed the law about the scopes, pretty much everybody was shooting a 45 Thompson Center Hawkins.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a popular gun back then, but that last one I got, I tried to find one, and I called a Sportsman Guide. I said, I want a 45 with a crushed velvet type stock on it, stainless steel. And he said, them things, we don't have one like that. And I said, well, I'd like to have one like that. He said, I can get you one made. And I said, really? And he said, yeah. He said, all I got to do is call, it's a CBA, ain't it?
CVA,
Yeah.
I think Optimum.
No, it's not an
Anchor.
Optimum.
Anchor.
It's not an Optimum. I forgot what you call it. Anyway, he said, I can get you one made. And I said, where at? And he said, yeah, it'll be about 2 or 3 weeks probably. And he said, I'll call the manufacturer and see what we can do. He called me back and said, I got you a 45 being made. And I said, well, when can I get it? He said, well, now it's going to be a couple of months. He said, I'll call you and let you know. He called me and said, send me, what was it, 50% of that price of that. He said, I'll put it in shipping, you can send me the other part. I said, all right. And the overall price on it was it in the stainless steel scope was $400 and some almost $500.
Wow.
But it'll stack the bullets.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great shooting gun. It don't just jar you to pieces. It's got a Borger. Is that a Borger barrel? What they call it?
Oh, Bagura barrel.
Borger barrel.
Yeah, my wife's got one of them, so
Yeah.
they're good
That's what I
shooting.
got.
So
Borger barrel.
yeah, very good shooting. So if you don't mind, what kind of areas did you like hunting for them big bucks like that?
I never did hunt greenfields much. I like to hunt. I hunted the wood bottoms, or I like to hunt cutovers. And if you could find a place where you could see just a small amount, that suited me fine.
Wow.
If you could find a few acorn trees out in the cutover, you hit a home run, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Good tip. We sure appreciate you letting us come in, buddy. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, amazing cabin. So
Did you run your phone battery down?
not yet, but it's getting, I mean, but this is an awesome cabin. You built this yourself?
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, you got a nice place, too. I mean, you probably got deer on this place, I imagine.
Oh yeah, went out and sat down on the porch yesterday, and I said, well, look on there. And there was a doe and a little small one ran across the driveway there, about halfway between the mailbox and the house. And I don't know, one day last week, I went out, sat down on the porch, and I was sitting there, and I looked up, and there was a little deer come up to the salt lick out there in the woods. I'm walking up there, and I said, well, where'd you come from? I never saw a movement. All of a sudden, their head went down, and I said, that's a slick little deer there.
Wow.
Michael Buddy's one of them guys. He rebuilt his own tractor motor. He rebuilt his vehicle engine. He built his own airplane. He built his own cabin, and you look, he's a perfectionist. He is awesome. He's a jack of all trades, and he's a heck of a deer hunter.
Look at there. That's your Marines?
Army.
Army?
Yeah.
The picture went away. So what year was that?
I went in the 8th day of December, 63.
63.
8th day of December, 63.
Wow, we appreciate your service. How long was you in?
I just served my time and got out. See that badge right there? It says Tollison. A lot of times I go in a hamburger joint somewhere, and I'll order, and I said, you give a discount? VA veteran discount? And they say, yeah. And I hold it up, and I said, how about this one? They say, oh yeah.
That's awesome. Well, how young are you nowadays?
Soon be 83.
Soon to be 83. Well, you're in good shape, and daggum, you take care of that hair. I wish I had some hair like that.
Let me tell you something funny about that hair. Dwight Carroll, he and I, we buddied up and hunted together for years. Well, old Dwight Carroll, I don't know if that's exactly what way got killed or what, but anyway, his wife had a little pool house behind her house, and she wanted some stuff moved around in that pool house, and so he was going to move a microwave and a TV outlet or something in there, and he messed around and got into the darn power, and they had to rush him to the hospital, and he never overcome it. He never could walk or anything after that. That power got him, man.
Mm.
But anyway, when he passed away, they had his funeral over here at Harmony Church. And I was sitting there in the church, and I can't think, there was two brothers that hunted out in Bankhead a whole lot. They were from Florence County here, but I can't think what their names were. one of them was sitting there close to me, and Wayne McKay he was standing up at the casket with his wife and Dorothy, which is Dwight's wife. Well, old Joan, that's Wayne's wife, she looked at Wayne and said, I've looked at Buddy down there and said, how come he's got a full head of hair and you ain't got none? He says, peanut butter. She said, what? He said, peanut butter. Said, when we was at the hunting camp, he said he eat peanut butter sandwiches all the time.
Wow.
They blame it on peanut butter.
He told her peanut butter.
That's
You
awesome.
start eating peanut butter, man.
I eat peanut butter all the time. That ain't helped me a bit.
I need that crunchy peanut butter.
That's awesome. Man, we sure do appreciate you letting us talk to you. Again, this is amazing. So I'm gonna,
We could talk a week and still not.
I understand. I might have to come back. My wife really loves this type of stuff. And one day I might ask if I can bring my wife out here. So,
That'd be all right.
so we appreciate it. Thank you. Hey everybody, thank y'all for watching the videos. But again, we appreciate y'all's support. If you haven't liked, please like and subscribe. And don't care if you haven't got one of our books, check out Amazon and get a book. Also, we got a link on there where you can, on our YouTube channel, where you can go on. We got a little store set up. Like if you're interested in any kind of merchandise, shirts and stuff, you can check that out. And we really appreciate anything like that. So again, we appreciate y'all's support. Keep watching. We're gonna keep trying to share the outdoors and how we do some things and try to help everybody that we can enjoy the outdoors. And we do this for just basically because of the environment and the community that's involved and built around hunting. So again, we appreciate y'all. Like, share, and we'll see y'all again. Bye.